Hi, welcome to the Offsides podcast. Today we'll be doing our special ranking system, this time doing 2020 NFL quarterbacks and putting them into the tier list that we think they belong. I'm Josh.
I'm John, and all right, Josh, I'm going to explain to you what we have here for our tier list. So first up, we got the top, the best, God tier. Obviously, we put quarterbacks we think would be in the God tier. Then we got MVP candidate, and I think anyone above, we can both agree, MVP candidate and within MVP and God tier will be MVP candidates in general, but we just have it as our second best players who are good enough but won't be enough for that God tier. Then we got Pro Bowl, which are quarterbacks, that can make the Pro Bowl, even though I think it's a useless award, useless thing. Solid starters who don't make the Pro Bowl can win games if they can just win a few games a year, can get you where you need to be, maybe even put you in a wild card playoff position. Backup or bench players that could be a good backup, or they just have to be benched for them not being good enough, and then just retire. Like those are for the worst quarterbacks we can find in the NFL that should just not be in the game anymore. All right, where do you want to start, Josh? You actually pick a name. Who do you want to start with? Because I don't like going
You
in
know,
order.
with you don't like going in order?
I don't like going in order. Let's just go random. You pick first.
Let's start with the rookies. Let's start with the rookies.
Okay, I gotta find them.
All right, first one, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. I say he's
Joe
gonna be
Burrow.
For the first year. He's gonna be
Yeah.
can win games, not because of the Bengals.
Can win games.
Because the Bengals, it's the Bengals with a new head coach. I don't think they're gonna be that good. I don't think the Bengals organization is good in general.
Yep. No, I agree. They've got some weapons there on the offense. Tyler Boyd.
No.
AJ
Oh yeah,
Green's-
no, they do have Tyler Boyd. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Eifert.
Tyler Boyd.
They lost Eifert. They don't have.
Yep, lost Eifert, but they do still have AJ Green for the time being.
Oh, which is I'm still shocked, but
yeah, he's got Joe Mixon in the backfield. So that offensive, yeah. But I mean, they still have Boyd, Bernard as a backup. So
no,
you got a
Bernard's
couple.
Gone. Giovanni
Bernard's
been
gone.
Yeah,
Hill.
he's been gone for a while. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, Giovanni.
Okay. Anyways, I mean they've got some some good weapons. Offensive line, and that defense we know is.
Didn't they just drafted? Oh no, maybe they do have Bernard. I just searched it up. They do have Bernard. He's still present.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So, yeah, it's contingent upon we saw what he could do last year with LSU. We know he's a big time talent. I agree though. Can win some games. I think the Bengals can win 4 or 5 games maybe.
I feel like the issue is the Bengals are such a forgettable team in the NFL because I've been spoiled my whole life. Like basically my whole life, Marvin Lewis has been their head coach and nothing.
8-8.
They do nothing in playoffs. They just do nothing in general. So it's so hard for us to even talk about them because they legit. I don't even know who most of their team. I think they drafted no lineman last year, right, or something. I don't care for the Bengals, and so I think they're just.
I would have to look that up.
Yeah. They're just a can-win team. They can win. They'll be a threat to a Steelers playoff position. That's what I see them as.
Yep. Those late games will come in, win a couple. I mean, with Marvin Lewis, you're looking basically, Jeff Fisher type situation. He's going 8-8.
Yep.
Some years he'll grab the wild card spot.
And
some
they don't
years
win.
He won't.
They don't win in the playoffs.
And they're not going to win. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Can win games, Joe Burrow.
Yep. Okay, Herbert. I have Herbert on next year, I think.
Okay, Justin Herbert.
Here's the issue. Quarterback battle. This I think is a quarterback battle right now because it's between him and Tyrod Taylor. I think he'll win. But I still
you think he beats out Tyrod Taylor?
I still also put him in the can win. He can win games. He's not a solid starter because he's just getting in. I also don't think he's that great of a quarterback as a prospect compared to what Burrow was from this year. But I still think he'll win some games with that team.
He had some question marks coming in. Big, strong guy, big arm, big frame, all of that. Unfortunately, wasn't the greatest when things started to break down. Had trouble with some reads. See, here's my thing. The Chargers are good. All right. They've got a lot of weapons on offense. That defense is still pretty stellar. I know they had some injuries last year. This team can still win. It's not going all the way. Tyrod Taylor is one of the most slept on quarterbacks. He brought Buffalo in the playoff positions his time there. Wasn't given a great opportunity in Cleveland. I think week one. I think week one, Justin Herbert is
Yeah.
is not starting.
But I bet you, but
Week 6, maybe
yeah,
week 7,
I was gonna
sure,
say
he
like
could possibly
if it's not
win out
working,
the.
if it's not working, you'll see Tyrod Taylor go in week 7, week 6. If they're like, if they have a 2-win, because Anthony Lynn is a good coach, but I know for a fact if they're only like 2 wins through 6 games of the season, then he's gonna make a change because if it might not even be Herbert's fault, but he will make a change if it's something. 'Cause I don't, I think their
Yeah.
defense is gonna be fine. I
See,
think
I I
it's
I
okay.
think it's flopped unless
Yeah.
you have a surefire guy like you're like your Tua who's going to come in start week 1.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think um I don't think he starts. I think
You
maybe
don't
week
think he
7 weeks.
starts?
No, I think he's going to come in week 7. Something like that.
You think? Wait, you think Herbert's gonna come in week 7, or you think Tyrod's gonna
Yeah,
come in?
yeah. So
Okay.
I'd put him at can win some games. We'll put him there. Can
Yeah,
win
no,
some
no.
games.
I believe I agree with that. Next up
Um,
is there any other rookie quarterbacks? I think I just have
yeah,
Tua here.
Tua,
Yeah, I mean,
Tua.
like other
Yeah,
than Tua, is there any, I'm gonna I'm gonna get crapped on for this. I am because it's a left-handed quarterback. It's backup bench for me because he's a left-handed quarterback. The last like real left-handed quarterbacks we've seen was Tebow, and I think even before that it was I think who's the one, there's like one Hall of Famer who's like a left-handed quarterback recent years. What's his name? Wasn't he for the 49ers? I'm too young for this
was it
crap.
Steve?
Was it
Steve
Steve
Young
Young?
was it
Yeah, was
Steve
it Steve
or
Young?
Joe? One of them.
Steve
Um,
Steve Young hand. Whatever. But I don't think first off he's going to Miami. I don't think he'll be I hate Miami and even then even though they have some upbringing, I don't think he'll be that good. Cuz I don't think it's a left-handed quarterback. I think there'll be a lot of issues going from a right-handed quarterback to a left-handed quarterback cuz it's a whole different system for how they would change it up to be. And I don't
yeah.
know, it just doesn't look like it has success in the future. Like he did great in college, yes, but we look at Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow struggled, and he was a great SEC quarterback who won
Oh,
national titles.
okay. But
But like
Tim
I'm being
Tebow and
honest.
Tua,
But I'm
hey, they're two different talents.
but I'm
Tua
being
is steps ahead of Tim Tebow. I
I'm
love Tim
being
Tebow.
honest. Also, when was the last time you saw a Bama quarterback do anything good in the NFL? It's rare. It's rare. AJ
Yeah, but they
McCarron
have.
and Greg McElroy were like the last two decent ones to come
Oh,
out, and even then they weren't
you're
starters.
telling me that he's on the same level. I don't see again. Um, and I hate to put all 3 rookie quarterbacks in the same spot. Um, but I think he's can win games. He's very talented. He's the best quarterback on that roster. Let's face it.
Definitely.
Without that hip injury, you know, I mean, he was talked about on the same level as Joe Burrow the whole year. He unseated Jalen Hurts a couple years back.
Mhm.
The guy's a winning machine, touchdown after touchdown, can do it on the ground. But now, great passer. I got to put him in can win some games.
All right, I'll put him in. Can
Again,
win some
not the
games.
greatest situation in Miami, but
Mhm.
he himself can win you some games.
All right, let's move on to the movers, mover quarterbacks. And the first one I think we see is Jameis Winston on here. Jameis Winston went
Okay,
from the
let
Bucks
me.
to the Saints. He's the last one, the first thing. Bucks to the
Yep.
Saints, and it sucks because I like him because he's not that bad. Yes, he throws a lot of interceptions, but that can be worked around.
Mm-hmm.
He still threw the most yards in the season, I believe, and like
Mm-hmm.
30 times. It's the weirdest stat ever. He's the best worst quarterback, and I was gonna make a category called the best
Yep.
worst instead of backup
The-
bench, but I'm like, there's too many
yeah, best.
categories already. But he's literally the best worst quarterback because he can throw touchdowns. He can throw to your receivers on point. From time to time, he'll mess up, and it was often. Sure, yes, it was often, but it's crazy, but he's gonna be backup bench for me. I don't know about you.
His talent I think is again can win you some games.
Hmm.
He's if he goes to a situation where he's got good receivers, good line, good situation around him, he's gonna win you some games,
Hmm.
no doubt about it. Just the inconsistency, the errant passes. Um, he's not gonna be, especially obviously not in New Orleans. He's
Hmm.
not gonna be a starter.
Yep.
But he can go somewhere else that maybe with an unproven quarterback or something, he's gonna win you some games.
Hmm.
I I personally, start the first 4 all can win some games.
Yeah.
Um, he's a good talent.
I'm only having
I
him
think that
backup bench because of he is gonna be a backup bench unless Drew Brees
he
gets
he
hurt.
is
Like that's
he
the only
is he
reason.
is, but
He's a
his
solid
talent
backup.
yeah, I guess so. He's a guy you'd want there. He can win some games, but yeah, I guess so. I don't. I guess there's not many places he would go and be an automatic starter,
Yeah.
if any.
All right.
So yeah, I can. I'll agree. Backup bench,
All right. Yeah,
for
we'll put
now.
him there. All right. Next up is Mariota, and I have Mariota. Look at second line next to Lamar Jackson. It's his head's cut off. Mariota went
Okay.
from the Titans to the Raiders this offseason, and
Yep.
I think it's can win some games. I love him, but he's not a solid starter. It's apparently a quarterback competition from what I've seen.
He and Derek Carr.
He and Derek Carr, yeah. I think it's only can win some games. I know, because I mean, I still like him. I still think he has some promise, but he's
He's.
has some inconsistencies with throwing interceptions and not being able to get the ball in the end zone.
I
But
mean, the same thing can be said about Jameis. And
yeah,
if we're being honest, Jameis is a slightly better quarterback than Marcus Mariota.
mm,
So if we're gonna put Jameis in backup bench,
sure,
I think
yeah,
Mariota's got to
yeah,
go there as well.
yeah, sure.
Um,
But
Again, some things to fix. Uh,
he can't get the ball in the
I
end zone.
think
That's the issue. He can't
I
get the ball in the end zone.
yeah.
He wasn't scoring. He wasn't scoring at all. Like that was the whole issue
Uh-huh.
with him in Tennessee. Like he couldn't score at all. Like I remember so vividly his touchdown pass to himself in the playoffs against the Chiefs.
Mhm.
I remember that so vividly.
He's
I'm like this guy's insane. But now it's like he's gonna stay a career backup from now on, which kind of sucks.
I don't see. I don't. If he can blossom in Oakland, maybe unseat Derek
Yeah.
Carr. I think that'll do wonders
If he
for him.
unseats Derek
Um,
Carr, then John Gruden is a god master with figuring things out. Because if he unseats Derek Carr, that means he's going to be a decent enough starter to win them games. Because we'll get to
yes,
Derek Carr later, but next mover is Nick Foles. Nick Foles to the
Nick
Bears
Foles.
for probably one of the worst contracts I've ever seen in my life. Had some of
He
the
got
worst
him
contracts come out of him just in general because for some reason everyone wants to give
not the
Nick
worst for
Foles
him.
everyone wants to give Nick Foles a lot of money when
Hey, he won a Super
he
Bowl.
won a Super Bowl in the most like I love him for winning that Super Bowl because I hate the Patriots. But come on, it's like one of those things where it's just so impossible to happen that it happens, and now everyone wants to live in those glory days of keeping this guy. He can win games. He will never be a solid starter. Never was before then, and he won't get anything higher. He'll have that one glory season of winning the Super Bowl, coming in backup for no somehow at all, and that's it. He can only win games, and I even want to put him in backup bench. Honestly,
As I look at his stats right here,
hmm
he's never thrown for 3,000 yards in a
yeah,
season.
yeah.
2013, I believe, his second year was his best year.
hmm
2,900.
Where did he go to college?
Arizona. Hey,
Okay.
actually, he was in that quarterback room at MSU. I think it was
Yeah, oh yeah, I know
2007
that, I know that. 'Cause I
with
remember all the memes.
Kirk
MSU
Cousins
beats
and
Michigan again.
Drew Stan's the other one.
Yeah, I remember that meme. Like MSU beats Michigan again in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
yeah.
Yep.
um, yeah, no, hey, I'm looking at his stats. He came in, he got the job done
Yeah.
when he was asked.
If this
And I
category should we call it "get the job done," which I mean we can agree is kind of like the same thing as saying can win games.
yeah,
But
can win games. Do you want to, I think he's a backup bench.
okay, yeah,
Another
I'm putting him
serviceable
backup
backup
bench. Whoa, I
bench
just made
guy.
that really loud. I'm putting him backup bench. Yeah, because like I
Okay,
don't
here we
think
go.
the issue is the guy in front of him, but I'll get to that in a bit. Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers just retire. Just retire.
No,
Yes.
no, are you kidding
Yes.
me?
I'm sorry, but
You're
I'm sorry, but just retire.
I want to hear why. Why do you think Philip Rivers just
He was
retired?
so loyal to San Diego and Los Angeles slash. Like I just don't think him changing would change anything to his career. He's already done enough. He won't win a Super Bowl with the Colts. He won't win anything anymore. He will drastically decline with this team. I don't think making a change would better his career. He should just end his career. It's that simple.
Do you think he went to Indianapolis to win something, or is he just trying to extend
I
his
don't
career? What do you think?
He's honestly just trying to extend his career, but he's already gonna make the Hall of Fame no matter what.
Yeah.
He's gonna make the Hall of Fame no matter what. Like but like he just is trying to extend his career, milk everything he can. But I just think there's no point to it. The Colts need to focus on the future, and they should have gone quarterback this draft, and they didn't. They decided to go
Jordan
for
Love.
Yeah, they didn't. They should have. They should have. Like I mean, I think Jordan Love would have been a better pick.
Although they didn't have a pick until I think it was 34, and Green Bay snatched up Jordan Love, so they didn't really have a choice there.
Even then, they well, let me see. Colts draft.
Well,
Colts draft 2020. When was their pick? Or yeah, 2020.
34.
Was it 34? Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Because they
in the
traded.
second round.
They traded it. You're right. But still,
Yep.
they could have traded up at least or something.
I think Indianapolis is one of the more underrated teams in the NFL. The receiving core could use some work.
I mean,
no doubt
Pittman,
about that.
I think Pittman is going to be good. That's who they picked in that pick. Then they also have Jonathan Taylor at running back, so I think they'll be a more ground heavy team for the year.
That's what they were last year. Granted, they had Jacoby Brissett.
They picked Jacob Eason in the 4th round. I forgot.
That's right. Well, they're going to groom him. He's going to be a year behind Phillip.
They better.
He's a big arm. He's got potential.
He was the most underrated in that draft. But I'm saying just retire, but I will be willing to put him in solid starter.
That's a big jump, man.
Well, because I mean, just retire is literally just
starter.
fair. What?
I'm gonna be honest. He's thrown for 4,000 plus yards every year since 2013.
All right.
He had 1 year where he missed that in 2012.
Wasn't he hurt that year?
And then 4 years before that, he threw for 4,000 plus. Hey, he's one of the best quarterbacks now to not win a Super Bowl.
Changing a team is going to drastically hurt his play. He's got to learn a whole new playbook. He's got to learn to live in a new city with a new team, new teammates, new receivers.
He's a vet. He's a 15-year vet.
I mean, he's never changed a team before. He's never changed a team before. Same thing with Brady. They never changed teams before. He was on the Chargers for his whole career. Oh, technically he was drafted technically he wasn't a Chargers whole career.
He's a giant.
He was literally for a day. But
yeah,
it's just
he's a solid starter.
I'll put him in solid starter. Yeah,
he can come into a team when he's 6 to 8 games at least, especially with a good team around him. He's a guy that if you don't have a top guy, you want him there. He's someone that you want teaching your quarterbacks. Learn great things, but he still has it in him. He's, 36, 37?
Yeah.
So he's probably got 2 or 3 good years in him at least. Yeah. That's a solid starter.
I would like to say, before we continue, since we mentioned the name, Bryce Love isn't on here because he's not going to be starting at all. He's not going to. There's no.
You mean Jordan Love?
Or Jordan Love? Yeah, he's not going to.
Not going to be. No, I agree. Yeah,
it's Aaron Rodgers, of course. Even though this is obviously the beginning of the end, and this was a whole Brett Favre situation again, 2.0.
Yeah.
But still, he's not going to have a shot unless Aaron Rodgers drastically declines to get injured. But we'll get there in a bit.
He's going to the Pats next year. Let's be honest.
I swear. Teddy.
No.
We got to do Cam. Quick. We didn't do Cam.
Real quick. Yeah. Left-handed quarterbacks, by the way, since we were talking about Tua earlier. One Michael Vick is a left-handed quarterback.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Like I didn't even think.
Hey, you asked for one. You asked for one. I gave you one.
I don't really think we should talk about him with everything that went on. I'm still.
No, you asked for one. I gave you one.
I'm still annoyed he was allowed back in the league. Like, come on. I'm a dog lover.
Hey, he did a lot. He still does a lot to turn his stuff around.
I'm sorry, but he should have never been allowed back in the league. We gotta go back outside. We missed this. Cam Newton. Newton. I think he's gonna be Pro Bowl. I hate the Patriots, but Belichick's gonna make him back into a Pro Bowl quarterback.
I agree. Pro Bowl talent. I'm not even gonna argue that. One of the most disrespected quarterbacks.
He is. Everyone gives him crap. He shows it on the field. Sure, his Super Bowl 50 performance wasn't that great, and I'm sorry, but it was his first ever time going that far in the playoffs with a great team. Like, he was still young then, and he was playing such a good defense with Von Miller.
That Denver defense is historically one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah,
at that time. So, hey, I think most of his career, he either hasn't had a good line, he hasn't had a whole ton of weapons, or he's been injured.
He never had weapons. They gave him Kelvin Benjamin. Where's Kelvin Benjamin now? Where is he? I don't. Is he even on a practice squad?
No, he's probably somewhere at like a Burger King or a
Exactly.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't get it. I don't get it. He gets so much crap, and yet they never produced him well. Carolina never
No,
produced him well at all.
no.
Um,
The only problem he's not gonna have a whole ton of weapons
yeah,
in New England
yeah.
now, but better system.
Got way better system.
Those guys know how
Well,
to
he does
win. So
have
yeah,
he
Pro
has
Bowl
N'Keal
quarterback.
Harry now, which I think N'Keal Harry will be good. Even though he was out last year, I think
He's
N'Keal
got to
Harry will
turn
be
his stuff around.
exactly. Next,
He's got Edelman and
no, I don't.
so he's got
No, no,
something.
Edelman didn't retire. Yeah, you're right. No. Um, Teddy Bridgewater, I think is going to be a solid starter. I'm just
Where
saying
did
that
he
right now.
go?
Carolina starter for Carolina now.
That's right.
Matt,
That's right. Carolina. Yep.
and he's gonna stay
Yep.
solid starter. I like him. If he was still on if he was still playing like Minnesota years, he'd be MVP candidate. I believe when he was on
MVP,
Minnesota.
but Pro Bowl.
What?
But Pro Bowl. I think stealing a Pro Bowl.
Hmm. I don't
I'm
think.
not saying that he's going to do that
Yeah,
every year, but I think he has that potential.
yeah.
Solid starter. I agree.
Ever
Although,
since that knee, he's been good. He's been good ever since that knee. But
well, in
when he
New
was
Orleans, he came in, did what he was supposed to do.
he was doing really well, and that's what got him the
Hey,
deal to be. He's now going to be a starter. There's no competition for him in Carolina right now. Matt Rule is going to start him day one.
yeah, yeah. Where's he at? Where's Teddy
All the way at the
Bridgewater?
bottom. But he's gonna be a solid starter because I'm scared of Matt Rule coming from college to NFL because I never like that transition of where they immediately become a head coach in college to straight to a head coach in the NFL. I never like that
Hey,
transition.
Kingsbury didn't do that bad last year. He
Yeah,
was a
I'm just
solid coach. Would they go 5-12?
yeah. I wish he would have went to at least a coordinator first, then become a coach. I'd rather
Yeah,
see that happen. Like work your way up a bit. Don't just go straight into it. But
yeah.
yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this one too. Tom Brady just retire. Like his stats are declining. He wasn't he wasn't the reason the Patriots were winning those games, and that's just statistically true because the defense were always insane. Sure, yes, he won a few games. Yes, he was doing well early in his career, but his last few years he's been super declining. He hasn't looked good. He can't throw the ball deep far. And sure, you give him two receivers that are like the best in the league, but he can't reach them because he's used to throwing
They're
down
both
the
kind of deep threats.
he's yeah, they're deep threats. He's not a deep threat quarterback. At least not anymore. Early in his career, sure you could say he was, but now he's not. He when you watch the Patriots play, it was short passes to the middle to a man wide open in the middle. That was either Edelman or Gronk, and they were always wide open because they knew how to get wide open, and they were never far. They were never far from him at all.
Um,
So
see,
I think he'll do okay. They're not. I don't know why people are predicting the Buccaneers to be a playoff team. They're not going to be a playoff team. Never. Especially when the Saints are in that division, for the South, and when the Panthers at least look decent, they're not going to be a playoff team.
wild card potential. Hey, here's the thing. You're telling me that you would rather have Jameis Winston over Tom Brady for 1 year. We're talking 1 year,
Well,
2020.
it's because oh, I'm just saying I'm not saying like oh I'm not saying that I'm just saying like just retire like it's like just they shouldn't be playing.
But
He shouldn't be
but
playing
this
this
is
year.
this is this is we're talking their talents here.
Yeah, even then,
I hey
Tom,
I
okay,
agree. Tom Brady's a system quarterback.
Jameis Winston threw more yards and more touchdowns last season.
Yeah, but look at all those picks. Tom Brady isn't going to lose you a game,
But I don't.
and that's
Also,
why I
even
think
I
he's
don't
at
like
least a solid starter.
Bruce Arians coming out of retirement. I don't think was a good job because I don't think he's going to be a good coach coming out of retirement. Yes, he had one
But
year already,
that's
but like still, I don't think that will work together. I don't think they'll work together
Tom
that
Brady
well.
can still read a defense. Chris Godwin can play in the
But
slot.
still,
I know.
he's not a slot.
I know
He's
he's a
not a slot
Pats
receiver.
quarterback, so you're not. He's
I'm not
hey,
even.
he's at least a solid starter.
I'm not even trying to say this like, oh, because I hate him because Pat's quarterback. It's just I'm
No,
looking at
yeah.
realistically. Like all this lined out in a row. It does not work on paper, and I don't think it'll work in the NFL. Sure, yes, they don't play on paper, whatever. But it's right now. It doesn't look like it's gonna work well at all. Prove me wrong. In a year's time, or whenever the season's over, and we look at this and he's done well. Sure, call me out on my crap. But it just doesn't look like it will be success. If they make the playoffs by a wild card, I wouldn't be shocked. But if they go past it, I will be shocked. But it's just
And just retire.
I think just retire. Yes, just retire.
But like that, you're saying that he shouldn't even play this year and just retire. He's not even a solid starter just for 1 year.
He shouldn't have left New England. If he didn't leave New England, I would put him in a
Oh,
solid starter Pro Bowl still. Because I mean, because he's obviously declining in his stats. He's throwing less touchdowns, more interception rate. He's not throwing the ball well. It's just it's very obvious. He's getting up there. Like sure, he could be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, but I also want to put Philip Rivers in the retire thing 'cause I don't like it when they're this old and they change teams. It never
Philip
ends
Rivers
well.
is 36.
Yeah, okay, so
Um,
that's still
last
insanely
year, hey,
old.
last year he had a better touchdown to interception ratio than the year before. Granted, it's 1 year difference. He
It's a
is
one
he
year
is
deal.
seeing lows better than the 2013 year
Well,
for the most part.
2013 he was out, I believe. 2013 was the year
No, that
Matt
was
Ca
2008. That was
Oh,
2008.
was it?
Was all the way back then. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it was,
I'm
you're
looking
right.
at
God,
stats
I'm
right now.
old. I remember Matt Castle came in and went like 8-0. That's also what annoys me as well. It's such a system
Yeah,
team. Bill Belichick is the obvious mastermind. He's always had defenses in his Super Bowl winning teams ranked top 10 and everything, and they always do off. You
yeah,
saw it in the Rams Patriots Super Bowl. Tom Brady played like crap the whole game.
yeah.
They
You're right there.
it was garbage. Tom Brady hasn't done well in the playoffs since the comeback. Like, okay, maybe the Eagles game was okay, but even then, also I love how the next year of Madden after that Eagles Patriots Super Bowl, they gave Tom Brady a better catching rating than Nick Foles, despite Tom Brady dropping a touchdown pass while Nick Foles caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl.
That's
Like,
funny. That's funny.
like,
All right, just we're putting them. Just hey, I
okay,
don't agree. I'll put it in here for your sake.
yeah.
And then we're gonna revisit this in a year, so I can call you out, or
Okay,
eight
good,
months or
whatever.
whatever.
Any other team switchers? I can't see. Not that I know. All right, I want to go from the quarterback challenges we have not talked about yet, and there's one I could see here, which I'll also get to.
Okay.
So Tom Brady doesn't feel alone and just retire. Alex Smith just retire. Don't risk it. Alex Smith, don't
Oh,
risk your
you're saying because of the injury?
don't risk your leg, dude. Don't. You almost died. Don't risk your leg. Like it's such a scary story to hear that a leg
Have
injury
you?
can cause that.
Hey, have you seen
The
some
photo?
of the comparisons between him and Joe Theismann? Happened on the same day,
Yeah,
same
it's crazy.
scores,
Same
same
team.
all. It's ridiculous.
Um,
Yes.
Alex Smith, man.
Wow. That's
Alex Smith.
um.
If he's somehow watching this, dude, don't risk it. You've had a great career. Like you were such an
Yeah.
underdog. No, like everyone started down you at the beginning, but then you came back. You did well. You trained Pat Mahomes, man. You are like I would always think of you as a great quarterback. You're not Hall of Fame worthy, but like if I had the chance to put you in the
He's
Hall of Fame, I would put you there because I always remember you from
he's
my
a
childhood. But
he's a solid sound quarterback.
yes,
He
but
may not win you a bunch of games. He's not going to lose you
no,
games though.
he
That's
would
for
win
sure.
you a bunch of games just when he got come playoff time. It's just like he would show up, but like it would just be hard for him because he's not like an elite quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but not elite.
Yeah. No,
But
I agree. I would take him as a solid backup bench.
mhm,
Just because of what he, like you said, he was there before Pat Mahomes.
yep,
Um, you get a good quarterback that he can train. I'm
mhm,
gonna want him on the bench. He's
yeah.
he's one of the first quarterback coach guys that I'm gonna want on the bench. I personally put him on backup bench.
Mhm.
Um, just to have as a locker
I
room
just
guy. I don't.
I just want him to retire for health reasons. That's my only reason I'm having him retire. Like that's the only because I they cleared him for practice, but I'm still like, you're really gonna go back out there and risk it? Like
Yeah, no. I mean, just for
it's
that, I understand. I understand your
yeah.
your stance on it.
Mhm.
So where are we throwing him?
Just retire. Like we have
Just retire.
just
Okay.
retire. Um,
Okay.
next quarterback battle is from this list is Dwayne Haskins. If we're still talking the Washington football team, but
Hey, while we're at it with the just retire, we might as well throw him in there too.
who Dwayne?
Yeah. No. Hey, I
Oh no,
don't.
I don't like him either. But I don't think he's just retired, dude. I think he's back up
He's
bench.
yeah. You can say that just about any guy here.
Yeah,
If they're not,
I don't think he's
he
that great,
played
but
what 13 games in college.
yeah. Well, no, did he? No, he didn't. That was Trubisky.
Yes, his
Trubisky
his
was like
college career. No, his college career, he played like 13 games total. Came in, he sat for 2 years. He was behind
no way.
JT Barrett for a year.
No, dude, he
And
played in Oh wait, that I don't. I'm not gonna count those.
no, he
Yeah,
played in like
14. You're right.
a bowl
Yeah,
game, and
his
then he played
sophomore
the
year.
entire next year.
Sophomore year. 14
He
years.
how did
I'm only gonna put because he's so young. He can only go on backup bench, I think, as the
But
lowest.
again, we're going on
Oh
talent. We're
my
not.
god, I
Oh,
just
we're
realized I
going
forgot. I just realized who I forgot on
who?
this list. Daniel Jones. He's not on this. Oh my gosh.
Ah, your dad's gonna kill you.
I forgot to put Daniel Jones here. All right, we're gonna pretend he's here. We're gonna talk about him, but
Okay,
we'll
we'll
go
talk about him last.
yeah. Dwayne Haskins though. Oh my, I was just realizing this. I feel like I'm missing a quarterback. I can't read that. I'm thinking NFC East. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot Daniel Jones. We'll talk about he's gonna be last. But Dwayne
All
Haskins,
right,
the lowest I can
Dwayne
do
Haskins
is backup bench
back
because I
up bench.
mean, sure we got it.
Hold on,
Yep.
but there are how many other quarterbacks you'd rather have on your bench than Dwayne Haskins? This isn't like a Marcus Mariota situation where he can come in and you trust the
Yeah,
guy
but
to
like he's
win.
had
Hey,
one year.
over time,
He's had one
over
and
time,
he's had 1 year. He's had one
we got to
like, and
look
then you
at.
could put Ron
Hey,
Rivera there. I think that'll be a good move.
hey,
It won't be the
we have
best.
to look at in comparison to some of these other
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
I
So
wouldn't put him
again,
over,
I'm not seeing many quarterbacks that I would have him over.
but I just say it's too early in his career. Well, Mitchell Trubisky only had 13 games in college as well. I'm pretty sure, or was it? Or was it?
No, he ain't no
How many games did Trubisky have? Trubisky college career.
lot.
Trubisky
Pretty
only
sure he
started
was
his
a three
no.
year.
Trubisky only started his last year in college. Yeah, Trubisky only started his last career in college. 13 games where he started, and he got
Mm,
Pro Bowl his first year. He came in a few times during his freshman and sophomore year, but that was only 9 games. Literally only threw like 40 times a year, and I really don't count those. Trubisky
no.
started 13 games for North Carolina. Came in.
Hey, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. If we're gonna stick on this subject, I put him as just retired too.
No, still too young.
Mitch, but he's still bad.
He's
Granted,
not. He's not
he
that
was in a he
bad.
was
It's
in a
just he's.
bad
Oh,
system, but
he's in a bad system. That's what I'm thinking. He still has some promise. Okay, let's do both of these right now. I think both are backup bench because they still have promise. They're still young and they just were put in bad systems.
but again,
Because
this but
now,
hey,
no, because now
Squirrely,
Dwayne
we're
Haskins has a good coach at least. Now they finally have something. I think
yeah,
both
but
are backup bench. If we're gonna go with both these guys right now, both are backup bench.
listen, Matt Nagy's still in Chicago,
Hmm.
okay? And we're talking just for the 2020
Yes,
season. We're
exactly.
not
I'm saying
talking like trajectory of
where they rank in 2020 season is backup bench compared to everyone else
okay,
because
okay.
they're still too young. They're still learning. Trubisky probably is a bit more older and everything, but Dwayne Haskins is definitely still too young. It's going to be his second year where he might not, excuse me, he might not even be the starter. But still, he might not even be the starter for reasons that being
Kyle
he's
Allen.
going to learn. But still,
Who's he gonna learn under Kyle Allen?
no,
Well,
Alex
Alex
Smith.
Smith's still
Alex
there, so
Smith.
he'll yeah.
So I mean, that's a good teacher to learn. The dude who had Pat Mahomes under him. So I mean, and then you have Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera, who I mean, I think will work fine with him, even though it's not the best
Yeah.
situation. It's just
Yeah.
it's better than what he got beforehand. And then
Yeah.
Trubisky, given another year for them to work out their differences because the whole team struggled. The whole team on offense struggled with
Yeah.
that whole Bears
Yeah.
team. Maybe their defense wasn't as bad, but still, the whole team struggled. All right.
Yeah.
What's next? Do we have any more quarterback battles? Derek Carr
Derek Carr.
can win games. Like, I mean, I think he's better than Mariota right now. He can win games because I think what
Yep.
Gruden's doing there with the team is great.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got receivers, he's got a great running back to hand off to, a decent old line. I think he's a solid. He can win games or a solid starter. I'm putting can win games.
Because there are some solid starters that I think we're gonna touch across later
Yeah.
on, and I don't know if he's as good as them.
Yeah.
Hey, he didn't have a bad year last year.
Hmm.
4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Hmm.
Um,
Can I not add an image? Let's see if
again,
I can.
again, I don't know if he's someone that consistently can come that like can take an okay team and win 8 or 9 games. He needs a decent team to do that. Yeah,
Yep.
can win games.
Yep. All
I
right.
can agree with that.
We just go down the list now. Baker Mayfield. Now, I like
Oh
Baker.
God,
I like Baker,
I
but
love Baker.
I love him. And it sucks because I think he'll still do fine, but he's only gonna go and can win games because it's the Browns.
Hey, last year the Browns should have been a lot better than
They
they
should have.
were, and Freddie Kitchens.
He was not a head coach. How also explain to me how Freddie Kitchens and Jason Garrett are now coaches on the Giants staff. Why would the Giants think of that? Why?
Hey, are they tanking for Trevor?
Maybe now. We don't. I forgot about Daniel Jones, so maybe. But I think he's just gonna be can't
um,
win games. So I think if you
yeah,
put him on any
yeah,
other team, he'll do a bit better. Any other like certain teams, he'll do a bit better. Maybe not like if you put him on a trash team, like a team that somehow finished worse than the Browns, he'll do better. But a team like let's say let's say you do put him on the Bucks with Bruce Arians and everything, he'll do fine. I think he'll do better than the Browns. Or you put him up in New England, he'll do fantastic. But
he's he's
I think Baker
for
ends up on the
right
Patriots in a few
now
years.
can win games.
Yeah,
But hey, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised right now if he throws 30 touchdowns, 10
yeah.
picks,
His rookie
4,000
year
something
was
yards, and
his rookie year was
he
good.
was what 24-8, I think, his
Yeah,
rookie year,
yeah.
just under 4,000 yards.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just it was a sophomore slump. Like I mean, I say it all the time. Every player's gonna have a sophomore slump.
yeah, no, I
I
agree. I
think it's a
agree.
real
They
thing.
get that first year of film on you.
Yep.
Quarterbacks always, yeah.
All right,
Uh,
Big Ben
okay, next one.
just retire. Big Ben just retire.
Yeah,
Another injury
yeah,
thing. Like let
injury prone.
let the
They're
Steelers
not
move
that good
on.
this year.
Let the Steelers. He was
Well,
out most of the time. Duck Hodges came in. I, Big Ben looks like a dude you'd see in the
Mason
Lord of the
Rudolph
Rings.
and
Mason Rudolph. I should have put him on here. Um,
yeah,
but it's
he's
just a
that
he's old. He's getting hurt. I think he's already a Hall of Famer as well. Like
yeah, I agree
his
with that.
draft class, him, Eli, and Philip are all gonna be Hall of Fame. It
Yep.
just matters when they'll get in. I think
Yeah.
Philip is the only first ballot. Eli's gonna be a second ballot, and so or
Oh,
a second.
whoa.
Philip's the only
See, I
first.
don't think. No, I
Philip's,
think Phillips' lack of winning is going to hurt him. I
you're
think it's a
right. I
second
mean, you
ballot.
are right, but but based on who's the better player, Philip was definitely the better player than Big Ben any
Yeah.
day. Big Ben just
No,
had a
no, Ben.
Big Ben just had a better team, better players.
I don't care. It still looks better for him.
I know it does, but still, uh,
He's
Eli should
slightly
be
more.
first ballot, but he won't just because of he was on the Giants for
His
most of his career.
stats weren't the greatest.
Well, no, he
His
still was.
stats weren't the greatest.
He's still number 7 in passing yards, number 7 in touchdowns
What in Giants history?
in NFL history.
Oh wow, dude,
Yeah,
I didn't know
no,
that.
and he
Wow,
has
wow.
2 Super Bowls to his name. Where in those playoffs he went
Both
off.
against the Pats.
Both it's a great Pats defense, and he went
Yep.
off. He was a great playoff quarterback. But
Yeah.
Big Ben has 2
Hey, when
Super Bowls as well.
when Ben's healthy
Hmm.
and he has a decent team around him, he's a
Hmm.
solid starter, no
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah.
At this point in his career. But yeah, no, I agree. I don't think he has the team around him that he needs. Sales situation, yeah, just retire.
Isn't it crazy to think so he's worked with Heath Miller, Hines Ward, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and he won a Super Bowl with Hines Ward and Heath Miller, but didn't win a Super Bowl with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, who I would
Yeah,
argue are better.
yeah. Well,
We're better.
Hines Ward's a Hall of Famer, isn't
Hines
he?
Ward's a Hall of Famer,
Is he in
yes,
the Hall
but
of Fame?
if Antonio Brown was an idiot and kept with his career, he'd be a Hall of Famer. But no, he's not. He's not gonna be a Hall of Famer now, based on the way he acts. But
Yeah, I think the way he went out is a couple more years. Yeah, you're looking first ballot Hall. He was a supreme talent. Antonio
exactly,
Brown was.
exactly.
Um, oh.
All right,
All
Carson
right,
Wentz.
next one.
Carson
Carson
Wentz.
Wentz.
Do you want to go first? Because I don't really I don't know where to put him.
Let me look. He's injured a
If
lot.
he's healthy, he's a solid starter.
If he's if he's healthy, yes, I agree. But the problem is, again, if he's healthy,
I'm gonna put him solid starter for
um,
now. Because I think he'll be
hey,
healthy for
that's
once in his
that's
life.
fair. That's fair. Hey, he doesn't. Other than his rookie year, so the last 3 years, he's only thrown 7 interceptions
Yeah,
per year.
yeah.
Last year was his first year to go over 4,000 yards.
Mhm.
Um, but
He's
again, he's
improving
not
because
playing
he's
all
not getting
16
hurt.
games.
He's improving because he's not
Yeah.
getting hurt, which I think is perfect.
Yep.
I mean, I don't hate him. I'm not a big. I'm a decent fan of him because I thought he was a better quarterback out of that draft. Um,
Yep. Then Goff.
than Goff, yeah. But I mean, I can't say anything that really good or that really bad about him, except for the fact that he gets injured a lot. Now,
Yeah. Um, this is kind of his real big prove it year.
mhm,
So we'll see. But yeah, solid starter.
all right.
Do we want to go on to Jared Goff now?
I mean, I was gonna still go into his counterpart, Dak Prescott, because I think they're counterparts. S-
Okay. We'll
So
go Dak.
Dak Prescott, I think is better. It's just he's not doing his deal right. He could be Dak Prescott is Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dak
Yeah,
Prescott is Pro Bowl, not MVP candidate because he's not good. He has
not quite
Ezekiel
there
Elliott
yet.
helping him, but like he needs. I think he has what's his name now? They just drafted from the dude from
Was
well,
it?
CD Lamb. They just drafted CD Lamb, which
Yeah,
I think
CeeDee
will
Lamb.
help his career even more, and maybe even next year get him to that MVP level. But
Mm.
where will he be with the Cowboys next year? That's the question. So that's why I'm worried.
Didn't he just
They didn't
sign
no, they
or
didn't
what's the
sign.
franchise tag?
Yeah, franchise tag for the year, not for.
Yeah, for this. Oh, you're talking
I'm
year
just
after.
saying in the future
Gotcha.
he
For
can
2021.
be an MVP candidate with the right weapons, and he's got one. But will he be with the same team the next year?
Yeah, it's a good
Is the
question.
question.
I think for next year, yeah, Pro Bowl. I
Yeah,
think we're
Pro Bowl.
looking Pro Bowl quarterback. Too many weapons around him.
Mhm.
Uh, who's the new coach?
Uh, it's is it McCarthy? It's McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Hey, he's won a Super Bowl, but is
but
he's
that Super
kind
Bowl
of
was a
that.
while ago, dude, and he
Is
refused.
he?
I think he's the
Is
reason Aaron Rodgers never fully got another Super Bowl. It's because
yeah, oh,
they never
100%.
drafted a
Yeah.
wide receiver or a first round pick offensive player with while
Nope.
Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback till like I think this year, not even this year. Did they even pick a oh
No.
wait,
Well, this
no,
this is
they
the
did,
first
but
year where his
they
quarterback,
picked Jordan Love,
Jordan Love. Yep.
which just shows a downfall. This is literally the whole Brett Favre situation again. And so
Hey,
and was even McCarthy
different
picking?
coach, different coach. Hey, it's his first year.
Yeah.
I think McCarthy can take them.
It's the
10-6.
NFC it's the NFC East. They're gonna make the playoffs.
No, they're 10-6. This is a ten
ten
and
and
six
six, yeah,
team.
10-6. But they're
Yeah,
gonna
they just
lose
got
second
Everson
round.
Griffin.
Yeah, they just got Everson Griffin on
Uh,
defense. They still have a decent O line, but I don't know who opted out for them though. But they're still gonna go 10-6. They're gonna win the NFC East, of course, unless maybe the Eagles
no,
swoop in
no,
because they're
no.
not gonna
This
face
is this
any issues from the Giants. They're not gonna face any issues from Washington. There's 4 wins right there.
this is Cowboys 10-6 right here.
Yeah, that's
I
what
think
that's the
yeah,
Cowboys
NFL
do.
divisional round.
Hmm.
I think NFL divisional round at least.
All right,
All right.
Deshaun Watson, MVP candidate.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, oh,
No, no,
oh.
no. He is not God
No D
tier.
Hop.
What?
Not D Hop. He
But
doesn't have D Hop this year.
I still think he'll be good because
His talent.
Will Fuller is still good.
He's injured a lot though.
I I still think they'll be fine without him. They do have they do have what's his name now as running
David
back who could
Johnson.
David Johnson who could play as like a
He's
quick
injured all the time
option.
too.
They have Will Fuller,
He's
They have Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb now, and Darren Fells a tight end. So I mean that's not a bad core at all. Kenny
I'm
Stills as well, or did Kenny Stills opt out? I think Kenny Stills opted out.
not
Did
sure
he?
on that. He's an MVP talent.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'll put him up there. He's an MVP talent for sure.
Yeah.
Our first one this year, though, I think you're looking at solid starter Pro Bowl status.
Mhm.
Just because the team he doesn't have that D Hop
Mhm. I
with
bet you
him,
he still has a good line. He has a really good line though. That's why I think it's helping him. He has a really good line.
does he?
Laramie
No,
Tunsil,
he was
Senio
sacked.
Clemente, Nick Martin, Zach Fulton, Titus Howard. Great line.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Tayo Tunsil turned it around last year. He had a good year.
yeah. No. But I still think yeah, if Will Fuller can stay healthy, Brandon Cooks has always been good. It's just like I mean he doesn't stay with teams, and then Randall Cobb's a good veteran to have. I wish they
Yeah,
drafted someone. I wish they drafted someone, and then like yeah, sure I could put him in God tier if they drafted someone who would be a good person in the future.
I wouldn't put him God tier.
I feel like he's
He's MVP candidate. I think that's where he is right now. He
I
potential to be God tier, but
I think he's the number one MVP candidate right now because I don't think they want to repeat MVPs. They're not going to give Lamar or Pat Mahomes unless Pat Mahomes breaks the touchdown record and breaks the passing yards record or whatever.
Pat Mahomes is throwing for 40 plus touchdowns and 5,000 yards. He's getting an MVP again.
He'll get an MVP again, but I'm saying like for this year, I feel like they put it in order of who's
No,
going to get it.
I'm talking
Yeah.
this year.
Oh, you're
He's
talking
getting
this
an
year?
MVP again. Yeah.
Ah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll talk about it. Drew
All right.
Brees. Drew Brees will be an MVP candidate for me still.
Drew Brees is still yes. A couple years ago, he's going top. He's
Yeah. Last year, he,
this is
last year I would
this
say
is
God tier. Last year. This year MVP candidate just because I don't know. I just he's gotten older. He still was gonna throw whatever 5,000 yards and
yep
everything because he can't
40 something
stop.
touchdowns.
I think he is the better quarterback of I mean last year last year was a significant decline, but he was out. He was out for a while. That's why I also would say, or no, why am I saying last year God tier? The year before God tier. Last year was out for
Yeah.
most of the year. Teddy Bridgewater came in for 7 something games.
Hmm.
Still though, Drew Brees threw 2,979 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions while he played.
Yeah.
I
In what, 9 games?
and however many games that was, and he's still insane. He played how many games last year? It was 9 games.
Nine
Oh
games.
wait, no,
Yep.
number 9. No, he played 11 games. Year before he played 15, so he missed one game and it threw almost 4,000 yards with 32 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But still,
And that was a
he's
down year.
that was like his like down year. But even
Hey,
then,
here's my thing on Drew Brees. People always people have that conversation of Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and I don't think Drew Brees gets talked about enough
it's
in that who's the
because he
best
won
quarterback.
one Super Bowl. That's it. That's
Yep.
that's the only reason,
Hmm.
and he deserves to have been in 3 Super Bowls, but he's only been to one. But because of the scandal, because of the Saints not caring about their defense until
Yeah,
now, until
they've
then the
had some.
refs, then the Vikings, like it's just
He
he has such bad luck in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, on to the next one.
Drew Luck.
Drew Lock.
I mean, I want to see another year of him. So I say can win games. I want to see another year out of him. I can't really.
Yeah, he did all right last year when he came in.
Yeah,
Um, let's
issues.
see
I'm
what did he
scared
do?
of it's gonna be like a Baker Mayfield thing where he comes in, impresses, in his sophomore year he just doesn't do that great.
7 touchdowns, 3 picks, 1,000 yards, and how many games did he play?
Only play like 4, 5.
4. Yeah, came in at the end of the year.
But
Oh,
I want to see more from him because he hasn't played that much, and I think he'll be good. It's just like for the future, they're not going to win the West. The Broncos are not going to win the West because you have the Chiefs there,
ow.
and the
Yeah,
Raiders and
yeah.
whatever the Chargers are doing. Because that West is going to be loaded in literally 2 years. That West is the AFC West will be the best division in the NFL just because
Hey,
how
I think you're looking at 3 teams that have potential to win 8+ games.
4 teams honestly with I think the
I don't.
Broncos can go 8-8 or 7-9.
Oh, hey, hold on. The Broncos got Jerry Judy, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
That was their pick.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, he's can win some games.
exactly.
You last year it was just what, Cortland Sutton, and he had Philip Lindsay.
Cortland Sutton, Philip Lindsay at running back. Honestly, I can't name. I think like someone named Hamilton as like their second receiver or whatever. But I can't name it.
So he's got a couple talents. Yeah, he's gonna win you some games. His talent, I haven't seen enough. It's hard
Yeah.
to tell. I almost would put him back up bench,
No, I'm not putting him. I can't put this guy
but
back up bench.
again, we haven't seen enough to know that
Yep.
he can. I don't know. I guess we'll
One
find out.
second. One
But
second. Moving that over. Okay. All right. Yeah, but so we'll do that. So I'm literally getting a photo of Daniel Jones right now. I'm gonna edit into the to the to the screen recorder area. But let's go next one. Fitzy boy.
just retire.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Just retire.
he's a good backup
Hey,
because for some reason he does
Fitz
well when he comes
Magic.
in. Fitzmagic will always
Well,
live in my heart.
hey, the largest of ups and the lowest of downs is the Ryan Fitzmagic show.
Yeah,
Um, he's with Miami.
yeah, he's with Miami.
I guess you keep him for a year to teach Tua.
Yep, that's a
But
great. Honestly, I think
is that really
he
a
might
guy
start the
that you
year.
want?
I think he might start the year.
What?
I think he might start the year.
Maybe a couple games? Yeah, possibly. Um,
But
yeah, no, he's just retired though at this point. Not many teams have use for him.
I
I
don't
hate
know.
to see it because I love Mr. Harvard, Mr.
Oh
48
yeah,
on the Wonderlic test.
even though like his second year with the stint with the Jets wasn't that great. Let's see, I'm literally transitioning a Daniel Jones photo into the corner right now with this. It just popped up, and it was the funniest thing for me to see. But all
God,
right,
I'm gonna have to watch this back and look at it.
oh my god, yeah. But no, yeah, it's just tired. Always remember those Fitz Magic years, even though we didn't make the playoffs with him, which I was very, literally came down the last day and he messed it up on the last day against the Bills. But it's whatever.
What are you gonna do?
Yep. All right, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the most overrated quarterback I ever seen in my life.
Wow, that's
Yeah, no, he's the
high
most
praise.
overrated quarterback that I've seen in my life. He's having one good year, and he sucked last year. He was terrible. He wasn't that good. I don't think he's the right guy.
Hey,
Oh my
he
God,
had
Matt
two
Neal's
good years.
Matt Neal's calling me. All right, you continue with this. One sec.
Uh, all right, we're talking about Jared Goff here. All
I
right,
know I had to get it. Sorry.
Jared Goff. Hey, he's again. They've had some good teams around him.
Mhm.
Uh, can
I
win games.
I'll do Ken win games as well. I just
Hey,
I can't put him
last
in
year he
solid
had a
starter.
rough year.
Yeah, I
He
can't.
threw for 4,600 yards.
I don't think I can put him in solid starter because I don't think he's that great of a quarterback, and I think this year we'll see it because now
He's. I think so. I
he
think.
doesn't
Yeah,
have
I
a
think you're
leader with
right.
Todd Gurley in his backfield anymore. Um,
You really call him a leader.
yeah, I mean, I still think I think Todd Gurley was most of that offense in general. Yes, he threw 4,000 yards.
He was injured a decent amount.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, his receivers. I think Cooper Cup is an underrated receiver, like crazy. Cooper Cup is one of the most
Yeah.
underrated receivers. And what's the other
hmm
guy's name? Oh my God, I keep forgetting
Robert
names.
Woods,
Robert Woods is insane as well. Help me in fantasy, but
USC guy to LA.
yeah, nope.
Pretty cool. So Ken win some games for Jared Goff.
Yep. All right, Jimmy G. Jimmy G can't throw, and their whole offense runs is literally a running offense. They're a smash mouth team, and they don't want to admit it.
You got to protect the quarterback, no doubt. I think he's one of the more bashed quarterbacks.
He's a solid
Um,
starter, but like
he's a
he's
solid
not.
starter.
He's gonna win Pro Bowl nomination because of his name. Honestly, he's not that great of a quarterback, but he's there to win. He got him to the Super Bowl, but honestly, it wasn't even him. It was their defense, and it was Mostert with wherever his name was in the backfield. Because
Mostert and Brieda.
his championship stat. What was his championship stats? It was something like his playoff stats are terrible. Jimmy G.
Yeah, last year just under 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 picks. I think another year in this offense, it's going to be different.
Hmm.
He's not a supreme talent,
Yep.
um, but I think he's a guy that I would very much solid starter. He brings in some of those.
Oh
He's
my!
a great leader.
You want to hear this real quick? How many completions he had the whole playoffs? That take over. What do you
No,
think? I want to take a guess. How many completions, or at least, yeah, how many completions Jimmy G had in the entire playoffs
in
last
three
season?
games,
3 games. How many? How many?
31, 31,
You were close. 37.
37.
He
Okay.
went 6 of 8 in the Green Bay game, 11 of 19 in Minnesota, and 20 of 31 in the Super Bowl. Of course, he has to throw. He had 427 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and was sacked 4 times. And I think that's rushing. That's passing. No, no, no. It's gotta be rushing yards. 26 passing yards. No, no, no. Yeah, 427 passing yards. Like, jeez. He's not a passing quarterback. He's just there to fill a roster spot, in my opinion. If he was on the Patriots, it'd be a
I don't.
different deal. But
Hey, I think first year and year before he was injured, right? He's been here for 3 years.
he's
He was
only been
injured for first year. He was
fixing
back
Daniel
up for a
Jones.
while. Kyle Shanahan
Ah,
is known to run the ball a bit more.
mhm.
Um,
That's why I didn't have him there.
Jimmy G, hey, solid starter. He's not going to lose you games.
Yeah, I know. So that's all I have to do.
Yeah,
All right,
solid starter.
Josh Allen is a solid starter. He can't throw downfield great at all. Has no accuracy when throwing down the field, but he'll get you to the playoffs. And like, I'm not gonna say Pro Bowl just because I hate him. Um, but he's a solid starter because I think he needs another year. They'll make the play. I think the Bills will make the playoffs as a wild card, but they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. They're gonna lose first or second round because they'll be matched up against the Texans or something. And the next round they'll play the Chiefs. That's what's going to happen again, or something like that. That's my prediction. But he's a solid starter. He has the potential to be an MVP candidate, and I hate to say it, but he does. But I
Hey,
just
I'm happy to hear that. I can agree. Solid
yeah
start.
I
I think one of the things that helps is obviously how good of a rusher he
mhm,
is.
yeah. But I hate
Um,
rushing. I hate rushing quarterbacks. Unlike Cam Newton. Cam Newton was a different build. Even then, he wasn't even a big rusher. Because I mean, yes, Lamar Jackson broke his record, which is only like 500 yards, and that's seen as some kind of like a rushing quarterback. It's just like
mhm.
when I see Cam Newton and Josh Allen play, there's huge disparities in how. When I look at Josh Allen, I can't say, oh man, that's another Cam Newton. I just can't see it.
He's his he's wildly underrated as an athlete.
Yeah,
Crazy fast,
yeah.
explosive, all of that. He needs to work. He's got some accuracy issues.
He's gotta work. Yeah, he's just gotta work on it.
Solid starter.
Mhm.
Again, hey, Buffalo's got something good going
I hate to
there.
say
They've
it,
got a
but
good team.
yes, they do. It's pain. But all right, Kirk. Kirk is gonna be solid starter easily. Like I can never like he can win games, yes, but he's a bit more than just can win games. But he's not enough to be a Pro Bowl. Even though he'll probably get the Pro Bowl, I just don't think he deserves a Pro Bowl.
Why is that?
He's so inconsistent. You saw it with his first year. He was so terrible. And now
The
They
first
lost
year in
Stephon Diggs.
Washington or first year in?
First year in Minnesota. They lost Stephon
Oh,
Diggs
okay.
now. They lost Stephon Diggs now. They have Adam Thielen's good, yeah, sure, but they lost Stephon Diggs. It's I'm not a fan of the Vikings with their whole team where they're going because
They still have Kyle Rudolph and Delvin Cook.
true, yeah, but I mean like I it's still a solid starter for me because they lost their main guy. They
You
lost
know
their
what's crazy?
wait what? Say that again.
Kirk. You know what's crazy?
What?
What's the number one complaint you hear about Kirk Cousins?
Inconsistency. I usually
And
hear.
that's with in terms of like completion percentage, right?
Yeah, I know he's like the highest completed quarterbacks there is, but
Second, yes,
oh,
I think
you know what's
second in NFL
crazy?
history.
You know what's crazy?
Hmm.
I was looking at the stat. It was like the most targets, like on point targets, where it would either hit the receiver, like every pass where it hit the receiver. Who do you think was the number
Hmm.
one? Who do you think was the number one quarterback to say that to be on that list? 'Cause I think Kirk Cousins was number two or number three or something. But the number one quarterback, he's already on the where we already graded him. But who do you think was the number one
Is it
quarterback?
Drew Brees?
No, it was
So
it was Derek Carr. Derek Carr hit, I believe, 83% of his passes on target. Which I mean, I don't hate Derek Carr, but
mm,
he could be better. But which I mean, I should have
yeah,
talked. I've completely forgot the step. I should have put him in solid starter, but I don't want to move him now. But
it's
it's
still
just
can win
crazy because
games to
I
go through
think
his
Kirk
agent.
Cousins was up there as well. Kirk Cousins was like number three, and I don't think it's. I just think it's his playing ability is why he's only a solid starter because they got so
He doesn't have
lucky.
that oomph.
They got so lucky with winning those playoff games against New Orleans. Luck against was that New Orleans again? Was a Hail Mary one New Orleans again? Was that New Orleans? It was.
Yes,
It was
yes,
luck.
Stephon
Oh
Diggs.
no, that was
Yes,
Case Keenum. That was Case Keenum though. That was Case Keenum at quarterback.
yes.
Never
Case
mind.
Keenum
But
played that one.
Minnesota's just lucky, and so it's the luck has dragged on to him now. I don't think it's skill because now you look at I love Case Keenum, but now you look at Case Keenum and he's not starting anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Hey, 26 touchdowns, 6 picks. Not.
he's gotten better. Like he's gotten better because last year, if we were doing this last year, I would definitely put him in the can wins game or backup bench because that's when he had a terrible year.
Last year, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks,
Wait, which year am I talking about then?
4,000 yards.
Which year am I talking about then? He's like his first year under contract
Mm,
was terrible. Was that three? Was that three? I'm old. Was
what
that 3 years ago?
in Minnesota?
Yeah, his first year in Minnesota. Because everyone
He's
was
been
crapping.
there. This will be his third year.
Yeah.
His first year in Minnesota, 30, 10, 4,300 yards,
What?
70%
Why are
completion.
people? Why are people talking crap about him then? I don't follow
Because he's
Minnesota that
not
much, but
he's not a flashy quarterback.
that is true. But yeah, I mean
He's
that gives me a reason to say like he's a solid starter. He's not flashy.
yeah.
To
He's
be
not a pro. He's like top of solid
yeah.
starters
Why are people?
because he's.
All I would see
You
was
want to
because
know
like I mean
why
I
people?
because I
You want
lived
to
out
know?
there. All it was oh yeah I live near a bunch of Detroit fans, so I'm out there for school. But
You know why he's placed or he's talked about like so low.
mhm. Oh, it's
He
because
went
of
to
his
Michigan
contract.
State.
Oh yeah, and his contract was so
Mm.
big that people expect
No,
him to
yeah,
be.
no, that's a big yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, look at this massive contract.
yeah,
Especially not 21 a year.
hmm
It's
yeah.
not terrible.
All right. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's a solid starter, even though I don't think he'll pan out well.
You don't think he'll pan out well?
No.
He's got D Hop this year.
Oh, he does have D-Hop this year, yes. But sure, that'll improve
I
his game.
think
That'll
Cliff.
improve it. That's what I'm saying. Is a solid starter now, but in the future, I don't think Cliff Kingsbury is a great coach. They're in a division with the Seahawks, which I think the Seahawks will dominate even longer because I think they'll
And the
be fine.
49ers.
And the 49ers, and the Rams still. Rams are still average, but
Yep.
except for those uniforms. But he's going to be always a solid starter for this year. For this year, because I mean, even then, if he didn't have D Hop, he's going and can win games. He doesn't have an
Yeah.
O line. He doesn't have an O line. They didn't draft.
They touched on it. Who they get? Tristan Wirfs?
Did they draft
No, that was
No,
Tampa.
they didn't draft an O line. They drafted what's his name? 1 second. Cardinals draft. Because I remember I was pissed off they didn't draft an O line because I wanted to draft an O line. Draft 2020. Who was it? It's complete. They went for wide receiver, right? They took Isaiah Simmons. They went for Isaiah Simmons, which is a great pick.
Defense. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
they
Phenomenal
did
pick.
take Josh Jones though. They did take Josh Jones. That was a thing.
Out of Washington.
Where is that Josh Jones from? Houston, right?
Houston.
No.
Oh, Houston. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a great pick.
It's a good pick,
The
yeah,
tackle.
but like I mean, compared to the other O linemen that were in that draft, like I knew when you got to Isaiah Simmons drops to pick 8. Like you can't pass on that
No.
deal.
No, you
Sure, yes,
can't.
I agree, you can't pass on that deal. Which I mean, I can't really crap on them for, but still, maybe sometimes it's better to protect your quarterback than help a defense that's kind of okay already. But I don't know. I'm not a GM.
Hey, when you have a like once in a generation talent like that, a guy that can do everything on defense, you don't pass that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't pass it. I mean, three most important positions are your D end or your edge rusher, your quarterback, and your left tackle.
Mhm.
But this guy can do it all on defense.
Yeah, I
Pass
agree.
coverage, run
'Cause
stopping.
he could be a
So
safety, he could be a linebacker, he could be a DN. Like it's just crazy with him.
yeah,
I love him
play
so
everywhere.
much, dude. He's so awesome.
He can play corner. Dude can
Exactly.
play corner.
Even though he's
He's
a
a
bit
baller.
big, but he can play corner. All right.
Hey, he ran like 4.39.
Lamar Jackson. Now, you're
MVP candidate.
yeah. Okay, good. I'm not putting him God tier. I'm not.
No,
The way he performs in
and
playoffs. The way he performs in playoffs. No.
he's like one step away.
Yeah.
I
No,
think from being
It's a
from being
He's a
God
playoff
tier.
win away. If we had the playoff championship, the AFC championship of Chiefs Ravens, and it was a close game, then he's a god tier. Because I mean, they had to win that game, but they lost to the Titans, and it just yes, Vrabel did a great job in that game, but it doesn't look good when your quarterback doesn't even have a passing touchdown when Derrick Henry does. Like
You know, last year he threw for 36 touchdowns,
no,
and
no,
only
no, no,
6
but I'm
picks.
saying like in that playoff game, Derrick
No,
Henry.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, the one thing was about him. Oh, he's a running back. He
He can
can't throw the
pass,
ball.
yes, but can we see that for a second year? I want to see that for a second year as well at starting.
Yeah.
So like you could definitely he has the potential to
Let's
be
see.
god tier, obviously. Obviously.
66%. No, he's one step away for
Yeah.
sure.
But I think most people can agree he needs another step for that god tier.
You know, he threw a touchdown on 9% of his passes.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
I know. It's
Ran
crazy.
for 3,000
It's like
yards.
it's like
last
look up
year.
Peyton Manning's stats from his record-breaking touchdown season, dude. It's
Was it
insane.
the 54 or 56 touchdowns?
Whatever many touchdowns, which I think Pat Mahomes is gonna break. But
Eventually.
he
Yeah.
should. If Pat Mahomes doesn't break that record, I will eat a shoe. I'm going on record right now. I
gotta film that. Film that.
I will make a bet. If Pat Mahomes does not beat Peyton Manning's touchdown record in a single season, I will eat a shoe.
I'll eat a shoe.
I will.
All right.
I will. Simple as that. Throw his whole crew out. All right, whatever. All right, Gardner Minshew.
Can win games.
Yeah, because my dad doesn't like him. I'm okay with him. I was iffy between like if there was a middle between solid starter and can win games, I put him there. But I think I'll go down and put him in can win games because I think I need.
He doesn't have the greatest team.
Yeah, but he's still.
But he won some games.
He produces.
Yeah. Hey, this is his second year though, so we're gonna see how he responds
Yeah,
here in
exactly.
year 2.
Which I think will decline because he.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone's
Just a
jumping
smidge,
ship on Jacksonville. Everyone's jumping ship. It's basically what the Jets were a few years ago, but who knows? All right, this one should go without even talking about it. Really, the half a $1 billion man is now like he's gonna be. I think will be the greatest quarterback in NFL history, and he's of course gonna be in God tier.
Yep,
Like
that's Pat Mahomes
yeah,
right there.
like
He's hey, that's why I told you to put in this tier because he doesn't
yeah,
belong on the other tier with the
yeah.
other two
Well,
or the other three that we have an MVP candidate.
yeah. I mean, I can't even say anything bad about him. Sure, he started slow in the Super
Sounds
Bowl.
like Kermit
Yeah,
and his
there's one.
favorite food's
Puts
ketchup. There
ketchup
we
on
go.
steak. There we go. But yeah, he started the Super Bowl bad. He still played well in the second half. He went off. He
He
still
didn't
even
he
had
didn't
that.
start well. He didn't start well against Tennessee either.
But exactly, every game it didn't start well. They were down by at least over 10 points in each game.
Hey, you know what it is? I think they just kind of like they knew it was going to be a blowout, so they said, "Hey, let's have some fun. Let's make it a little tougher
They're
for
just a
us."
fun team in general, man.
Weapons, you
Great,
know,
the best weapons in
he's
the
a great
game.
athlete. Throw, he can make any
They don't
throw.
have
He can
Damian. They don't have
make any
Damian
throw.
Williams this season. They don't have Damian Williams, which I mean,
Hey, but they
they have Clyde
drafted
Edwards-Helaire, who I think is a
Edward.
good
Yeah,
pick. And
yeah.
then I think that did they
That
I
was
think
but
they picked up someone. I have no idea. I gotta check.
thought it
Um
was a bit crazy they didn't go defense there, but
no, because they locked up everyone on defense already. They locked them all up. They literally
yeah,
have the
Chris Jones got a
they
fat
they have
contract.
the low like how are they signing these contracts? They
Oh,
have
offensive
like a
line. They
seven.
could have touched offensive line.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
their
Go
O
ahead.
line is fine, but how can they signed everyone to like massive deals and they have like a $700 cap space. It's crazy what they just did. Um
Structure. It's the structuring of
yeah, I
contracts.
know, I know. All right, next one. Which I is
Let's
Russell
hey
Wilson.
let's jump towards the back.
You want to join?
Let's go with like
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll go
um
Rogers. You want to talk about
Aaron
Rogers?
Rodgers.
Rogers only is
Let's go in the
declining.
middle. Let's go. Hey, let's
Or
go with your boy Sam Darnold.
you're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say solid starter because Gase is terrible. Gase is a terrible coach, and he's not the right guy for Sam Darnold. But still, Sam, after he got back from his injury with the ghost thing for mono, he was not bad. We went 6-2 to end the year, and he was doing pretty well. And now we have I think Mims, who's gonna be a good receiver, and Brashard Perriman, who's okay. Even though we don't have a true number one, and we have Le'Veon, who says he's at the best part of his life right now. He's saying he's the best he could be right now. I think he's a solid starter or can win games. Jets are not making the playoffs. I'm saying that right now. We're not making the playoffs, but I'm in for Sam for the future.
Hey, he went 7-6 last year,
We went yeah
so
yeah.
he's
I'm gonna get crapped on for saying solid starter, but I mean he can throw. It's obvious
he's
he can
hey.
throw.
I think he's a step away. I think he's a step away from being a solid
Yeah,
starter.
I'll put him in Ken
Um,
games, but
yeah, Ken win. He'd be towards the top of Ken win games,
yeah
no doubt.
yeah. Can we let's go to Tannehill because I mean I want to talk about Gase still because Tannehill is a great example of why Gase is terrible because you saw him
He's not the
struggle.
greatest example, but yes.
You saw him struggle in Miami, and you obviously tell Tannehill didn't like it. Gase was just terrible and wasn't winning games. Kenyon Drake is another example of Kenyon Drake started out really well. Then Gase said like, "Oh, we're gonna change you up a bit," and garbage. Then moves to Arizona, fantastic. And Tannehill is a Pro Bowl because he really improved.
No,
He really improved.
he's a solid starter.
I'll put solid starter, but
That
I
that
think he'll go to the Pro Bowl.
that offense was predominantly Derrick Henry.
True, he still was throwing pretty well to Western Michigan guy Corey Davis. Not
Yeah,
like first season
and AJ Brown,
yeah, and
AJ
AJ Brown
Brown.
too. Like two young receivers. Which I
Yep.
want to look back on it for a second. Corey Davis was not worth his draft position.
Yeah, where is he drafted?
Literally, like I think the fourth pick. He was a first round
Good
pick.
guy, good receiver.
Good
Well,
receiver, not worth it.
he was injured. He was injured his first year. He's
I
still
know,
got
but
time
still,
to do
that's not worth
something.
it. It's worse than when Chicago drafted that other receiver. Oh my God! He's not in football anymore. That's why I keep forgetting his name. But it's just
I don't.
you search it up. Chicago receiver to bust. I mean, that could probably be a lot. But Chicago draft pick wide receiver. What was his name? It was like I think it was like Kevin something.
How long ago?
First round pick, literally recent, super recent. Oh my God, where is it? Kevin White. Kevin White from West Virginia, 7th overall.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I knew
he
it was.
should have
It
never
started
been
with
a
a K.
first round pick.
And I don't
He should
think.
never been
I
a
think he
first
played
pick.
like 4 games for them, dude. Because he tore his ACL immediately. I think it was something like
Mm,
that. He got injured like immediately in training camp.
it's a bummer.
Yep. All right.
All right, let's go A-Rod.
You mean Tyrod?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I'm fucking stupid. Just calm down. Yeah, A-Rod is declining Pro Bowl. I don't think he's an MVP candidate this year. I don't think he'll ever
Oh
win
my
another
god.
MVP.
Here's my thing on Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
And mind you, this is coming from a Lions fan.
Yep.
He is a top 3 quarterback. Like talent wise. Talent
Yes.
wise.
Yes. Yes.
Talent wise. Because again, he's one of those guys that can make any throw. And he's been doing it without, as you said earlier, he's been doing it without any first round
Yeah.
picks, without a whole bunch of spectacular offensive weapons.
Mhm.
He had Aaron Jones last year. I mean, he's had some guys, but
Yeah.
nothing like a crazy offense at once. Never had a crazy defense. After that Super Bowl,
It's been like
the
he's been
Packers
good.
said, "Hey, here's the team. Carry everyone."
Yeah. Yeah. Because
He's
that's literally what their GMs have set them up to be, and what Mike McCarthy set them up to be. No offensive picks for him for help in his whole career after that Super Bowl. You can't tell me that the GMs never even considered one. Because that'll be if I find out that the GMs never considered an offensive player for Aaron Rodgers to help him in that entire career, I will be shocked. And even that they still didn't draft one, which is so crazy to think about. It's just he's only going to be a Pro Bowl for me because he's not. He still doesn't have those things. They won't
Yeah,
win. They're not going to
next
win.
year he won't. Yeah, next year he won't. He's he's right in between God tier and MVP candidate in terms of talent.
We're,
But next year,
yes,
I agree. Pro
yeah,
Bowl. I put him. I would put him no less
yeah,
than Pro Bowl, and he's
yeah.
top of Pro Bowl. He's
Because
well
he got
above
shut. They got shut
Dak
down
and
by
Cam.
the. They got shut down by the 49ers defense. Like he was. Or wait, what was that score? I'm forgetting that score. 1 second. I know.
Close game if I remember
Was
correctly.
it 37-20? I mean, only put up 20 points. And I only think. Let me see that.
With Aaron Jones.
Yeah, with Aaron Jones, that's
Who
it. Let me look at team stats. Aaron Rodgers still, yeah, 326, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Yeah, sure. I mean, but still, I don't think he will be. They will. Packers are not going to win the Super
not
Bowl.
this
I
year.
will be shocked if the Packers win the Super Bowl.
No, yeah, they're not winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's a God tier quarterback with just retired
He'll have a
weapons.
great season, but won't be considered for MVP because Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, and Drew Brees are all in the league. And one more
Yep.
name, which I will get to in a bit. Or 2 more names we'll get to in a bit. But
Yep.
all right, next I want to talk about.
Well,
Well, I mean, next I want to talk about Stafford because Stafford's an MVP candidate no matter what. If Stafford was healthy last year, he would have been an
oh
MVP
yeah,
candidate.
he had a heck of a year.
He was going well until everything happened. Like if he comes back healthy, like perfectly fine, he's always an MVP candidate because he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks ever. He's already top 20 in NFL in passing yards and touchdowns. He's literally having a Hall of Fame career. But the issue is he's stuck in Detroit.
Yep.
It's the same with what Dan Marino did. Dan Marino was stuck in Miami, never won a Super Bowl, still put up Hall of Fame
Yep.
career. It's like
Here, so in Detroit we have our 4 teams. Matt Stafford is by far the most talked about. Detroit's a football city, no doubt. Like no matter how bad the Lions are, no matter what's going on, Detroit will always show out for the Lions. Which
Same
is
for the
weird because
Jets,
Detroit's
but
hockey town. Detroit's hockey town, but Matt Stafford is the most controversial athlete in Detroit
yeah,
in who knows how long. His only weapon for the longest time was Calvin Johnson.
exactly.
He had
He doesn't have
no
anything.
offensive line.
Yeah,
He had no running backs.
no
So
defense to
many
back him up.
first and second round picks
Mhm.
wasted on running backs that fizzled out.
Mhm. They didn't have a 100-yard rusher till on Johnson, first time in like
Yeah,
however many years. I think
10 years or
was it was
something.
it was
Crazy.
Was it since Barry Sanders? No, it wasn't since Barry Sanders,
No, no,
right?
no. It
Yeah.
was like Kevin Jones and like
Oh, it was no, it was
2002.
Kevin Smith. Whatever his name was, Kevin Smith, right?
Oh, Kevin Smith. Yeah,
There,
Kevin Smith out of
I had his,
UCF.
I had his rookie card for rookie football card, and I remember that. I'm like
Kevin
he's gonna be good for them. They're like was average, but
again, Rashad Mendenhall. Kevin Smith.
was Rashard Mendenhall really on the Lions? I did not know that.
Yeah, for like 2 years, and
Oh
then
my,
he's gone.
I did not.
Joik Bell, Zach. Well, some
I
of these guys weren't second round picks, but
I
um,
remember Zach Zen and everything, but oh man, Joik Bell I remember too. We'll go
yep.
Tyrod because I want to save someone for that. Tyrod.
Well, we said you said Matt MVP.
Yeah, it's an MVP.
Hey, this one last thing. This is Matt Patricia's prove it year,
Yo, he's
so
gone
he
if he doesn't
better
do anything.
bring it.
If
Oh
they
yeah,
don't
for sure.
if they don't show promise, like I mean, you can't say like, oh, playoffs and bust. Like if he shows promise, like they're actually competing well, they're losing games because of like stupid decisions by refs or whatever, or just because like it's something
Yeah.
out of their control, then he's fine. But they have to be winning games at least and showing at least some competition.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor can win games. I mean, we could say solid starter as well, but I feel like I don't think he's going to start. You say he's going to start. I don't think he's going to start.
He's still a solid starter.
Uh, sure, I'll put him solid starter, but like I don't think he'll be the starter, and I
He
don't
hasn't
think.
played well in a while though.
Yeah, that's the issue. Hasn't played well in a while.
Yeah, can win games.
Yeah.
I can win games.
Yeah, I'm not putting these in any order, by the way. I hope you're not either. I'm just putting them
No,
into
that's
their thing. Yeah.
fine.
Because I don't feel. We'll rank them later. We'll rank them maybe. We'll do Daniel Jones now, so I can just move him from the screen. And Daniel Jones is gonna go into the can't win games.
Can
Can
win
win
games. Yeah.
games because again he's like Sam Darnold, needs more promise, needs more time. Has shown well. I don't like him as well because I mean he went to Duke. When have you ever seen a Duke quarterback do anything? And even then he wasn't that. I don't think he was
Can't
that
think of
impressive
it.
at Duke. And also
Yeah, he was.
he was drafted at 6 overall. No one was gonna take him. The Giants could have taken him way later in the draft, and they
Second
still
round.
messed. How is it that the Giants messed up that draft so badly? Because you look back on it, sure, yes, they took what's his name. They took what's his name with the next pick. The kid from Clemson, D line from Clemson.
Not Farrell.
No, whatever his name.
Uh,
Lawrence, Dexter Lawrence, right?
yes.
Yeah. But then they took with the 31st pick or whatever, they took DeAndre Baker and
Running back out of Georgia.
no, cornerback out of Georgia.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy who just got arrested for robbing a bunch of people, then bribing those people to say he didn't rob them. So I can't believe that draft just got worse. I thought the low was drafting Daniel Jones at 6 when they could have gotten him at whatever. I think it was like 15 or 14, whatever. No, the low was drafting Daniel Jones just in general at 6, and then also drafting a corner that wasn't going to work and a D lineman that has some potential, but is right now not looking that great. Then they just traded for Leonard Williams and possibly one of the worst trade deals ever, which I'm so happy as a Jet fan that went through. But Dave Gettleman has got to get out. Like, no, they did fire him, I think, right? You can't. It's Dave Gettleman. Don't tell me
Gettleman's
Gettleman.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, he is gone. Okay. No, they fired him after, I think, right? They fired him after, right?
It was before this year.
Yeah, no.
Or
So they
it was
fired
end
Shermer.
of last year.
They fired Shermer, but kept Gettleman,
Yes.
right? Is he still? Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's still the Giants GM.
Oh, he's still.
He's still the
there.
Giants
Yikes.
GM. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 2018 to present. I can't believe that. All right.
Thanks.
We're gonna go Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is a solid starter, and I mean,
Pro Bowl.
You say pro? Yeah, I'll go Pro Bowl. They've been terrible these past few years, dude. The Falcons.
Yeah, but I don't think
ever since that Super Bowl, they've been terrible. Julio Jones can't score touchdowns. It's just
that's not his fault. Hey, that's the offense.
I'll put Pro Bowl for him. That's really all I could say. I don't follow the Falcons that much. That's all I can say. Their new uniforms are garbage, but all right, last one. Russell Wilson.
Hold on, I want to look for up in interceptions. He he teeters, but he's always
Yeah, I mean,
4-time Pro Bowl. Yeah, he's 1-time All Pro. Won the
yeah.
MVP once.
Well,
I
because I
mean,
mean,
you
yeah,
gotta
that
put
was
some
the year they
respect
went to
on
the
him.
Super Bowl and they blew it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still pissed
28 to
about.
3.
I'm still pissed about that. All right, Russell Wilson's God tier, and
Yep.
that's like
No
there's only
question
two
about that.
quarterbacks in the NFL right now you can truly say are God tier, and
Yep.
that's Mahomes and Wilson, and that's why the only reason I think Kyler Murray still stays in the solid starter is because how packed the NFC West is, and because we know the Seahawks are still going to win it because this guy's at quarterback. Their defense is better now with Jamal Adams, and so it's just he's going to stay God tier, even with no targets at all. They still have Tyler Lockett.
Well,
Okay,
he's got Tyler Lockett. He's got
yeah, I
Tyler
mean, but
Lockett. He's
still,
got Chris Carson.
when I think of Tyler Lockett, I don't think of him as like the superstar wide receiver. Same thing with
Oh no.
yeah, same thing with like I still don't think Devontae Adams is like a superstar wide receiver on the same level as
Oh, I
like
forgot about him. Aaron
s-
Rodgers had
yeah
him last year.
yeah.
Devontae Adams he's a top 5 receiver.
He's only top five because of Aaron Rodgers, I think.
A little bit.
Because I don't think he's
One of the best route runners in the
there's three receivers in the NFL right now that no one can compare to. That's Julio
Michael
Jones,
Thomas, Julio
Michael
Jones, and
Thomas, and DeAndre Hopkins. No one can compare to them. And I think out of those three, DeAndre Hopkins is better, but we can get that's another story for
I
another time.
agree. I agree.
But
D Hop, Julio, and then Michael
it's
Thomas.
crazy you see Russell Wilson do all this stuff and with the team he's done it with the offense he's
Hey,
done it with. Because he's had a great
it's
line.
funny.
Yeah.
His whole career, he's basically Aaron Rodgers out west with a slightly better coach.
Yeah.
And
More Super Bowl appearances.
well, no, I'm just talking about the situation. He
Yeah.
has had a good defense behind him
Yeah.
at all times, but never had a whole ton of offensive weapons. Hey, DK can make a big jump this year.
Oh, I forgot that
DK
DK.
Metcalf.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, God, some of those throws he made last year.
I mean,
Oh my.
then you look back at what's it called? Super Bowl against the Broncos. He made so he made I think was it Paul Richardson? No, it was some random receiver had like the game of his life because Russell Wilson said, "Let's throw to this dude on like the second play of the drive." And the second play of the drive was like a 40-yard like a 30-yard pass to this random fourth, fifth string wide receiver and made this guy have his career of his life. And I remember this because my buddy had his own thing for our high school, his own sports show for our high school, and he made a prediction
Mhm.
that this player will go off, and literally, and like we all thought like this guy's a fifth string, he's not gonna do anything. Ends up having like a touchdown, like 70 yards or something. Had like a great game for a Super Bowl, and like it was
Yeah.
insane. So that's how I clearly remember it. But yeah, Russell Wilson can make anyone good. It's the same. It's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can make anyone good. Where Tom Brady can't make anyone good. He has to just even though he's had average guys, but even then when you say average, like I still think Edelman is such an underrated receiver and everything. But Russell Wilson is like the number one quarterback. Where if I'm a receiver and I want to become good, I have to have him as my quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. Do we want to change it? Like, do we want to put these in order or no?
No, no,
Because I don't think even
I
then it
think
matters.
it's
I don't think even that it
no,
matters really. Like, because
no.
it's whatever. All right. Well, one second. Let me actually. Oh my god, I forgot. Did I forget anyone? I'm thinking. I feel like I forgot someone again.
I'm running through. I'm
Yeah,
not thinking of
run through real quick. 'Cause I
anyone
really do feel like I forgot
too.
someone.
I don't. I anyone too notable that I can think of. Hey, quick question though.
Yep.
Josh Rosen.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, there we go.
Where do we put him?
So
Um, just I don't think he necessarily fits what we were doing here, but I'm just curious. Guy's had a bad hand dealt
he
to
has
him in
had a
terms of
really bad
his
handout,
career.
and like it's just unfair to him. But so even then, I didn't think. I originally wanted him to be on the Jets. I originally wanted the Jets to pick him. That was my
Hey, he was the most talented
so
quarterback in that class.
when draft night, I was with Matt. You know Matt, of
Hmm.
course, and a few other
Yep.
friends. Matt Phillips, not Matt
Yep.
Neal. But
Yeah. No, I knew.
we were in the union and we were watching the draft, and I'm wearing my Jets jersey and whatever. I'm like, if Baker doesn't go number one, I want Baker. But if we don't get Baker, I want Rosen. And I was pissed off I was really pissed off when we took Darnold and everything. I'm like, like it's not gonna pan out well. But I mean, I've changed my mind. Like Darnold's been fine, but Rosen has been given such a bad hand, so unlucky. It's just been if I were to put him here or anything right now, it's backup bench just because of like the crap he's gone
Yep.
through. Because like I can't
Hmm.
say he's a starter at all because he got 1 year in Arizona and they immediately picked someone else. Like that's such a crappy thing to do.
Yep. And he goes to Miami out of all places.
Exactly. So
Where
like it's just been
quarterbacks go to
terrible.
die.
Anyone else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. J
Jarrett Stidham.
Jared Stidham, where did he go? Oh, he's in New England.
He's in New England.
I mean, he's gonna be backup
Backup
bench.
bench.
He's not.
Yeah,
Apparently,
Cam.
it's an open competition. It's not an open competition. We unless Cam
It's,
Newton gets hurt or actually looks terrible,
yeah.
it's not an open competition.
Yeah.
Joe
Open shut.
Flacco. Joe Flacco just retired, even though he's gonna be backup for the Jets for a year. He's a just retire
Just
for me
retire.
because I
Yeah.
mean I don't mind him
The
as a mentor for Sam Darnold, which I think will help, but
the
he's not
age
gonna play.
old question is Joe Flacco elite?
No,
And that's
no,
no.
it's no. Sure,
um.
he had a great year winning the Super Bowl. Sure, he had a
Yeah.
fantastic year, but
It's
no,
not
he's not
elite.
elite. He was an average quarterback, which I mean, he got the job done. He won games, and that's why the Jets brought him is to help him to help Sam Darnold and to like just in case if Sam Darnold goes down, he can
Yep.
win a game probably.
Serviceable backup.
But
Last one. One more. One. Everyone's favorite quarterback. The people's quarterback. Your quarterback's favorite quarterback, Mr. Taysom Hill.
he's not he's not a quarterback. He's not. He,
He's Tim Tebow
he's a
2.0.
he's a backup bench where he comes into a game and
Yeah. Yeah.
gets a play. He can't win games.
Dude can
He
do
can win
everything
plays.
though.
He can win plays.
Hey, I can hop on board with it. He's a locker room guy.
Yes,
He's someone you
yes.
want in your team. He's gonna do anything you ask.
Hmm.
Teams love him, coaches love him. Coach's wet dream.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's weird.
but yeah, I think
He's only like a 65. He was like a 55 to start the season on Madden. They went to a 64 or whatever, 65. They upped him like 10 spots, dude. It's kind of crazy. And he was only like he wasn't a can't win guy. He was a can win a play guy. He can't win a game, but he can win a
yeah.
play. And there's a huge
Mhm.
difference between that being a quarterback. But
No, I agree. I agree. He's
I
a
like the
football player.
idea
He's
of
not a
him.
quarterback. He's a football.
He's like a Brad when the Jets had Brad Smith. He was a Brad Smith for the Jets, where he's a wildcat guy. Um, that's such an
Yeah.
OG thought for me. Such a remembrance of Brad Smith when he was on the Jets. He literally did the same thing that we see Taysom Hill do today.
Yep.
Um, any last? Oh, Jordan Love. Jordan Love, I think will be a can win game guy to start if he ever gets some playing time.
This is he's not playing at all in 2020, so I don't even
Unless
think we
Aaron
need to talk
Rodgers
about
gets
him.
hurt. Unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, he's a
He's
can
not
win
getting
guy. I
hurt.
just want to put that in there real quick. But
Okay.
I said it earlier. I think I said it earlier in this. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I think
All
that's
right.
it.
Hey, that's all I've got.
That's all I've got too. If you hate our rankings, just crap at us. Remember, Pat Mahomes doesn't break the passing touchdown record, and his whole career, I will eat a shoe, and I'll stick by that. I will stick by that.
Oh, all right.
So this
Cool.
will come out.
I'm gonna jot that down.
Yeah,
Remember that.
this will come out.
I just want to say though, thank you to all of the listeners.
Yep. Thank you.
We've only had a few, but hey,
I love doing these
still
just to
appreciate
mess
it.
around.
Hey, feel free to let us know in the comments if you want to debate anything. What you think, anything we can improve
We
on.
need ideas.
Yeah. Hey,
we
if you got any
need.
ideas, things you want to hear, things you want us to talk about, let us know.
Is this coming
But
out? So this is coming out Friday, and we'll have something on Sunday as well. Saturday we're gonna be
yep,
doing Saturdays
we'll
where a full on podcast comes through. But this is coming. This
yeah, we're just gonna talk sports.
everything
Um,
On Fridays will be ranking episodes, and on Sundays will be podcast episodes. So I think that'll be our plan for the future if we don't get delayed by anything. But all right,
and let us know if you want to hear anything else.
I think that's it.
So, all right, thank you. Feel free to like the video, subscribe, do whatever.
Thank
All
you,
right,
and see
see
you
you later.
Sunday.